Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the morning talk show. I am Manau Dayok, and here with me in the studio are
I'm Glukun Ruth Yunusa,
Mrs. Happiness Elisha,
and I'm Samson Stephen Bako.
I'm Salima Saleh Ali.
Welcome, viewers. Today we will be discussing on a topic: drug abuse. When we say drug abuse, what is drug abuse? Drug abuse is the usage of legal or illegal drugs in a wrong way or outside its description or outside its description by the pharmacists or doctors. Miss Ruth, can you enlighten us on some common signs of drug abuse?
Thank you for the wonderful question given to me. I have some signs here with me or symptoms of drug abuse. Drug abuse, the symptoms: smelling of smoke, your clothes, a person taking drugs, the clothes, you cannot sit down together with the person because of the smelling. You'll be hearing some smoke smelling in his body, which is not good, and it damages our body system. And you see a person walking or staying him alone, and you will see him laughing just without reason. He will be laughing without no reason, which is drug abuse, and it is not good for our body. Look into our society today, you will see the loss of stress, loss of interest to do activities. Once the drug abuse causes loss of interest, because you will have weakness of the body, you cannot have that strong to do work well. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Happiness Elisha, what are some reasons of drug abuse? Can you tell us?
Thanks for having me by this time.
Thank you too.
Reasons of drug abuse is when one of it is education. You know, when the society lack education, they are not being teach on how the effects of the drug abuse. They may find one of their friends taking it, he will join them thinking because he did not know the effects of that thing. He may decided to join them. At the end of the day, it won't be a very good thing. Also, we have competition in the sense of, you see friends sitting among themselves. Someone will tell you that he can take 3 to 4 bottles of beer. Someone will say, I will do more than what this my friend is doing, and at the end of the time, you find them taking about 6 to 7 bottles per one person, which is not good for the system. That's some reasons.
Thank you for your contribution. Mr. Samson Bako, how can we prevent drug abuse?
Okay, Miss Manau, thank you for that beautiful question you asked.
Thank you too.
Okay, from my own observations, it's just like examine the risks of factors. You might be taking drug now, for example, thinking, okay, anything you're doing, you'll be healthy, active doing it.
Yes.
But you don't know the risk factors. It's not about now, it's later.
Yeah.
You get? Just as, okay, you might be doing something very agile, strong, you get? But as of now, maybe then, you get? That's when, the drugs have worn you down.
Yes.
Have take over everything about you. You understand? That's why sometimes now, even if you're in the hospital now, for example, let's go to the hospital. You go and see different people, and those that the drugs have killed inside, drinkers, and that's why they said smokers are liable to die young.
Yes.
You get? So we have to just look at the factors, not about now, but later. If you're taking it now at a young age, at a very tender age like this, how would your later be? Maybe now you might be lazy in doing things, but as of later you might because based on different experiences from people, you might want to I want to ginger, I want to do this for myself and for my family.
Yes.
You understand? You want to keep a legacy. You want to bring up many vital points in your life, but then you might be realizing that you might not have that strength you've been needed since. You get. So I just think that's some ideas from my own perspective. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Salima Sali, can you tell us some of the causes of drug abuse?
Well, that's a very wonderful question, Miss Mano.
Thank you.
Honestly, some causes of drug abuse, I say peer pressure is one of the most causes of drug abuse. Peer pressure in the sense of not even bad friends, but amongst your family. When you are frustrated, you'll be forced to take drugs, and drugs that are not being prescribed by a doctor is said to be a drug abuse.
Yes.
You might want to take those drugs just to forget what happened, which is very, very wrong. And I have mental health disorder. Mental health disorder in the sense that when a person is not feeling fine or is mentally unstable, he is said to be taking drugs without a doctor's prescription. Yes, which is very, very wrong. I guess. That's all.
Thank you. We have been hearing stories up and down in different states how the abuse of drugs affect and destroy the lives of our youth. What advice are you giving the audience now, the audience listening? What's that?
Okay.
The advice I have for the audience listening to us and watching us, or maybe looking at us now, is please stay away from drug and bad friends. Don't take drugs without a doctor's prescription.
Yes. And my advice to the individuals out there and the youths out there is examine the risk factors. Go check up on yourself from the doctors or pharmacists or therapies. Check up yourself so that all those smoke, those doses that have been impacted in you can consult the doctor's help to help you flush down everything. So I just think that's the right idea to do.
And my advice to the youth out there, seriously, drug abuse can affect our mental brains in the situations that in academic like this we will find it very difficult for us, especially people will be taking drugs and coming to class. They will not know anything that the lecturer is teaching us. So it's advisable that we should stay away from drugs so that we can be able to get a good health on our body.
Thank you very much for enlightening us about a topic called drug abuse. And to you viewers, thank you for listening to our program, and we hope you enjoyed or learned from all what we have said. And may you make use of it. Stay tuned. Bye.
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 Hello my viewers, good morning. It's another edition of the show The Inside, brought to you live by Foundation Rock TV, and I'm your presenter Dennis Enclitus. Today with me in the studio we have the General Manager of NNPC in person of Mr. Daspan Delshak Emos. Sir, welcome sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presenter.
Also with me in the studio we have Miss Sarah Maya, welcome from Mobile Filling Station.
Thank you very much.
Also with me Mr. Jacob Isaac. Sir, welcome from the Ministry of Petroleum. So today we'll be talking more about the fuel scarcity causes and the state of nation presently in Nigeria. But first of all, before we start, we would like to know what is fuel scarcity. So simply, fuel scarcity is a situation of petroleum product for day-to-day consumption of a given population of people. All right, over to you, Miss Sarah now. What volume of petrol is consumed in Nigeria daily, on a daily basis?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Presenter. As a country, we are yet to discover the exact volume of petroleum being consumed on a daily basis. But according to some new NNPC, they do believe, or they have discovered, that is about 30 to 33 million liters of petrol that is being consumed on a daily basis.
Wow, that is nice. Okay, over to you, Mr. Daspan. Now, what exactly is the causes? Is causing this fuel scarcity in Nigeria?
Okay.
What's the cause?
Thank you, Mr. Presenter, for that question. Actually, one of the major arguments and the cost of the fuel scarcity is that many oil marketers take subsidized petrol to Cameroon, Ghana, Benin, and other neighboring countries to sell in high price, making gain of the Nigerian citizen, which reduce the fuel in circulation for the Nigerians.
Okay, wow, that is nice. But due to lack of foreign exchange too can cause that.
Yeah, it caused that.
Okay, wow, that's nice to have that. Okay, over to you, Mr. Jacob. Can't NNPC bring any independent marketers on board?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Based on the information from the new NNPC, the corporation is trying all within its power to bring this in, the fuel, this in on board. But the major problem is that how do we find this foreign exchange? That's the challenging job. Some key elements has been identified, that how do we find those who participate in the stream, how do we find foreign exchange, and how do we find independent marketers who will come in so that these things should move moderately.
Okay. Back to you, Miss Sarah. Can't the NNPC just allocate frogs for the exploitation of these petroleum products, or do you think there's any reason for it?
Yes, there should be, because Nigerians have strongly or drastic drop in foreign exchange over the past year. The nation's foreign exchange reserves fell to an 11-year low earlier in 2016 due to the falling crude practice. Since the economy has been built around crude oil, a fall in crude oil prices directly affect foreign reserve and bills. How generously the Central Bank of Nigeria can be with Forex exchange.
Okay, thank you, ma, for that one. I really nice. I really like the idea. Okay, back to you, Mr. Dasman. What is the President Muhammadu Buhari doing about this? What is President Muhammadu Buhari doing about this? What is he saying to the people to understand the present situation in the country?
Okay, Mr. Presenter, the President should be in the best position to answer this. But we would like to think he has delegated the necessary duties to the State Minister for Petroleum.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Daspan, for that. I really like. But do you think, Mr. Daspan, still over to you?
Okay.
But have the president come out to say anything about this subsidy right now?
Yeah, actually, the president has addressed the citizens of Nigeria on the subsidy, and we are thinking hopefully normalcy will be back and the fuel will be enough for the Nigerian citizen.
Okay, but over to you still, Mr. Daspan. Me, I'm thinking, if all these fuel that are being deported to other countries, as you said, what if we increase our percentage of fuel being deported, we reduce it to like 40%? Do you think that can help the Nigeria presently in the current situation at hand?
Well, that will help Nigerians very well, because there will be much fuel in the country, and this will help so far in the country.
Right, over to you, Mr. Isaac Jacob. You see, so many people have been complaining that their businesses, we see in other filling stations they have been complaining that the economy is dropping, other stuffs, and they are not having time. Some people are even sleeping in the filling station just to get fuel, some fighting. So what can you say about that?
Of course, we all know since last week, Nigeria has been in the queuing for long hours just to buy fuel.
Yeah.
Of which we all know that it's cumbersome.
Yeah.
Even though you are not participating, like in the process, like when Indians buy fuel. But if you as a human, you are seeing people are passing through like this, you understand that something difficult is going on there, which is not good. But as the Nigerian National Petroleum NNPC Corporation has promised to put an end to that in few days.
Okay, but do you think, in conclusion, do you think that the current state of nation will be coming to an end very soon, or not? Or is even taking us, maybe it's leading us down to the ending of the year?
Yes, that is it. That's why you see the corporation like has bring his own state-owning company that promised to Nigerian citizens that this will come to an end very soon due to the challenges. It has never been their wish for how Nigeria is passing through, queuing along the road for a fuel, which is something that you just come and buy it once and go.
Yeah.
But everything will be okay.
So we pray so, because just of recently yesterday I almost slept in the filling station just looking for fuel. But it's not easy. But we thank God everything. We just continue to pray that everything will be okay for that. Alright, thank you for being with us today in the studio. It's been a nice time having you guys in the studio today. And also to our viewers out there, thank you for listening to us. We have come to the end of today's shows. We have come to the end of today's program of The Insight. Let's meet here next week, same day, same time, same station. And I remain my humble self, Dennis Enclitus, your presenter on The Insight. Enjoy the rest of our program and remain blessed. Bye for now. Thank you.
Good morning, viewer. You're welcome to our today's program on Foundation Rock TV. My name is Funke Sapi Etwin. I'm not in the studio alone. I'm here with my guests. Before we proceed, they will introduce themselves before we go on with the program.
I'm Del John Samuel.
My name is Michael Usuchi.
My name is Chang John.
Okay, today's program is very interesting, and the topic we'll be discussing on is Russian invasion of Ukraine, which we all know about the war and about the fight. And some people are creating some wrong impression about the fight between Russia and Ukraine, which is a very bad idea. So my guest here will be letting us more about the fight. Mr. John, what do you have to say about this fight? What do you think is the reason? What do you think caused the fight between Russia and Ukraine?
Okay, thank you, my presenter, for having me as your guest. The reason or the cause of this fight is because Ukraine wanted to join North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is NATO. The purpose of this NATO is to give freedom and security for the members for the members. So Russians saw that as a threat to them. Then they have invited to Ukraine so that they can stop them from gaining the freedom.
Okay, so you mean because Ukraine wanted to join NATO, which is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that's the more reason why Russia invite into Ukraine.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Chang, what do you have to say about USA? Do you think USA are trying their possible best to see that they end this fight, or do you think they are backing one part of the country?
Thank you for that question. Well, the USA are trying to resolve the situation between Russia and Ukraine. But the president of Russia is proving so hard. So president of USA is trying his possible best to equip Ukraine with military equipment and weapons.
Okay, based on research and I actually heard that the fight affects the economic system of the country. Actually, most part of the world, the fight actually affects the economic system. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, it has affected a lot of countries. For instance, Russia produce the highest consume of wheat to other countries, and because of the war, the exportation of raw materials have been cancelled, and people no longer have access in exporting and transportation of raw materials.
Okay, and okay, that's nice. That's actually nice. And do you think the war actually affect the petrol system of Nigeria?
Yes, it has really affected the petrol system of Nigeria a lot.
Wow, most people, like everybody, is actually complaining about petrol system in Nigeria, that the transportation is very high, the rate of petroleum is very high. So it's actually because of the fight, because of this war, that everything is caused, especially petroleum. Mr. Michael, what do you have to say? I mean, what's your own advice to both the two countries, that's Russia and Ukraine? What do you have to say? What do you have to say about this, and what's your own advice to them?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Well, my own take on the current situation or current problem going on is for both leaders of both countries involved in this major problem should both come to an agreement. They should both acknowledge the fact that they need help and seek help. But I know that the Ukrainian president is being more open to help. He's seeking help, he's seeking advice, he's seeking alliance. But the Russian president, he's been adamant, he's been strong-headed, he's proving that he is correct, he's standing by his point, which is making the fight a whole lot more worse, because he has made it very clear to the public that he doesn't want anybody to involve in the fight. So every country and every state who are able or who are willing to show help towards the crisis are being asked to stay at bay. If not, they'll be involved in the conflict. So to me, if you ask me what are the solutions to the fight, I would say they should put both leaders in a single room for them to iron out their conflict. They should talk to themselves and see possible way they can move past what has already happened, because there's no fight in the past, there's only looking towards the future. So you find solutions, you move past it, because you're not the only one being affected by this war. By all accounts, every single country on this planet are being affected by the war in one way or the other. So the solution is talking, conversation, for them to be open on what they need. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Sure, you have spoken well. And the advice is that both the two countries should sit together and talk about how to bring an end to this issue, because fighting each other will not bring peace. So let them sit together and bring an end to this issue. Let them be in peace as they were before. This is how far we can go on today's transmission, and thank you, my dear viewer, and thank you, my guest. Thank you for honoring my invitation.
Welcome. Thank you.
And special thanks to the production crew and the director. Thank you very much. Good morning, you're welcome to another exciting episode of today's show. I am your humble host, Hope Tomwana. You are onto Foundation Rock TV. I have with me 4 beautiful people in the studio today. I have 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. I have to my right here Miss Jennifer Jesse.
My name is Doom Matthew Audio.
Landlord Gabriel.
I'm Emmanuel Solomon.
Okay, thank you very much for being with me in the studio today. We're going to be discussing about examination malpractice. Miss Jennifer, can you please tell us what is examination malpractice?
Okay, thank you for that wonderful question. Examination malpractice is a deliberate wrongdoing contrary to official examination that is designed to place a candidate on advantage and disadvantage sides. In Nigeria there is a penalty that is set in those people involving in examination malpractice.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. We've heard her point of view. She has told us what examination malpractice is, and examination malpractice is an illegal conduct, and it is one of the major issues that Nigeria is faced with today. Mr. Solomon, to my left, please, what do you think are the major causes of examination malpractice in our institutions today?
Okay, thank you for that question. First of all, I would say lack of seriousness, because many students today are unserious with their students due to some reasons. Like, for example, let's say they were forced to study courses that wasn't on their mind to study, and we also have lack of reading. Yeah, many students today don't study their books and expect manna to fall from heaven on their exam day.
Yeah,
I don't
seriously.
understand. And we also have lack of mentorship or parental upbringing, because today some parents don't always advise their children on how bad exam malpractice is to them and how it will affect them in the future. They just want them to go to school and bring back for them the best of the best results. So, and there's also an adage that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yes.
Thank you very much. He has given us his own point of view, and he has told us some major causes of examination malpractice. From what he said, I picked something that he said about mentorship, and I think that's very true, because parents today just expect their children to bring in the best. They don't even know how students pass exams in school. They don't know how their children go about writing their exams. They just expect the best, and that's all. He also said something about unseriousness. Many students today they see exam coming into exams hall with gadgets as the best way to pass exams, because they prefer the simple way, if I should put it like that. They see reading as punishment, which is not true. If you are just joining us, you are onto Foundation Rock TV, and we are still talking about examination malpractice. Ms. Schwartzman, can you please tell us what are the effects of examination malpractice on students today?
Okay, the effects on examination malpractice today is, you will see a lot of graduates, they're having the result, but they cannot get the job because they cannot defend their result.
Yes.
Because they just have the result. It's not what they write. They cannot defend. They cannot even say anything about. They cannot say that that this result is mine, and they will defend it, because they just go through the exams hall with gadgets. They write what is written in the book, not what they have it in their brain.
Yes.
And once they have that result, they cannot defend it. So that's one of the effects that affect most of graduates today.
Yeah.
And even in the institution, if you are caught doing examination malpractice, you'll be expelled in the school.
Yeah.
Or you just go back home and you continue
Just
from
imagine what you'll be doing.
from the beginning again, and it's very wrong.
Yes, yes.
It's very wrong.
Okay, she has told us the effect of examination malpractice on students today. Examination malpractice has degraded the system of education in Nigeria today. We have a lot of graduates roaming the streets without jobs. It's not as if we have a lot of organizations in Nigeria, and it's not as if there are no rooms for jobs. It's just that a lot of them cannot defend their results. A lot of them don't. How can an organization give a job to someone that doesn't even know the ethics of his job? So we see how examination malpractice is affecting our education in Nigeria. A lot of years back, we see people flying in from other countries just to study here, but that reverse is the case now, because the system of education in Nigeria has really degraded. Mr. Matthew, what ways do you think the government can help in maximizing examination malpractice in institutions today?
Yeah, thank you for that great question. Seriously, I think ways to minimize the practice of examination malpractice is that the institutions or the schools, they should employ highly educated teachers whom can teach students in a way that they will understand. And sometimes teachers that are not highly educated lack ways to attend to students and explain to them things they are supposed to know more about education or courses they are teaching. And sometimes we have parental contribution. Parents often contribute onto all these rampant cases roaming here in Nigeria on examination malpractice. Parents don't urge their students to read their books, concentrate on their own. Rather, they'll be giving them things to do at home, sending them here and there, not allowing them to read their books and then do their assessments. Seriously, these have eaten deep into the fabrics of our educational sector here in Nigeria. This thing is really getting worse, and then you should know there should be computer based in every school. I think ways to minimize that is to bring computer based, put them in classes,
in exam
halls, and this is not supposed to be known by students. It's supposed to be secret something, as in private one, so students can not even recognize there is camera there, Yes, I think that's the best way.
Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Miss Jennifer. Can you what do you have to tell students today about examination malpractice?
Okay, so I would like to urge the student to involve in reading their books, paying attention to their teachers.
Okay, thank you very much for staying with us. I still remain your humble host, Ali Hope Tomwana. Have a very beautiful morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, viewer. Welcome to Rock TV, Plateau State Polytechnic, Just Campus. My name is Peace Daliop, and with me here, I got some adorable guests in the studio. I have Mrs. Vera Danladi as the Minister of Petroleum Agency. I have Mrs. Priska Linus Commissioner of Information, Plateau State, and with lastly I have Mrs. Nukub Meimoko, the Minister of Food and Agriculture. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're once more welcome to the program. On today's program, we're going to be discussing on the topic high cost of living, and how it affects the society, how it affects the population, how it affects the country, and what causes high cost of living in the country. When we will talk about high cost of living, you're talking about the standards in which people live, how people dwell in their homes, and you now bring about food. You talk about many things that affect the standard of living of humans in the society. So, Mrs. Meimoko, what do you have to say when they talk about high cost of living?
Thank you very much. What I have to say about high cost of living is the high cost of living is the amount of money needed to cover up for some expenses, just like food, housing, clothes, water, and the rest. And in the market right now, if you go to the market to get one things or the other, like food stuff, the prices in the market is too high that people cannot afford to like buy. So and again, when we talk about shelter, like clothes, housing, the rent now, the money the landlord or the owner of the house has, like they added some money in order, like I don't know, but the high cost of living has actually affected a lot of people.
Oh, thank you very much. Based on what you said now, you talked of food. So are you trying to say in essence that most people don't eat the three square meal just as it's supposed to be? You're supposed to normally you're supposed to eat the 3 square meal, but due to the high cost of living now, people don't eat the 3 square meal.
Yeah, like other people cannot afford to like eat the 3 square meal a day because of the high cost of living, and the prices is too high for them.
Okay, so Mrs. Priska, we have actually started this with Nukub, and then I just want you to like bring out more what are the causes of high cost of living in the nation.
Yeah, I think I'm going to elaborate more on accommodations.
Okay.
Yeah, accommodations are actually high in Nigeria, though it touches all parts of the living, high cost of living, fuel scarcity, water, and the rest. But then even in most cases, people hiring companies will not only find it difficult and scurable, if you get.
Okay.
And part of education is actually expensive. Most schools added tuition fees.
Okay.
Yes. From the normal fees to the ones they added on it. And when it comes to food, just like she said, especially when it comes to festive periods, things become expensive that most families can't afford, most extended families rather. You spoke about 3 square meals. I think even if you get 1 square meal now, you should be grateful that you can eat 1 square meal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, come to think of it, it's high population, not part of the causes of high cost of living, because when you have many people, like you have people marrying, like the kind of marriage some ethnic people practice. So should this be part of the causes of high cost of living?
Yeah, population is part of it, but we can't stop population.
Okay.
We can't stop people from getting married.
Yeah.
We can't stop people from giving birth.
Okay.
But at least the government should intervene.
Okay.
They are doing their best, but they should intervene.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Friska. In the recent scenario, Mrs. Vera Dunladi, of fuel scarcity in the country, I don't know, how has that affected the cost of living for Nigerians?
Okay, it's my pleasure to be here once more.
Yeah.
With the recent scenario, I think fuel scarcity have increased, like has added to the high standard of living, in the sense that we get to understand that prices of transportation is now high. When you want to go somewhere, like it's not a normal price like before that. Maybe it's 15 naira then, or now it's maybe 70 or 100. So transportation has added, and then not just the transportation, the fuel has now added the price. The price is now higher. So the drivers have now gotten a place to now talk and then say, you guys, there's no fuel, and then even if there is, the prices have added more. So it's just kind of complicated for the drivers and then people moving from one place to another.
Oh, okay. So now what would you say with this, that okay, you go to this fueling station and then you hear maybe the price of fuel there is 165, or the fueling station you hear is 245. So how do you want, okay, with the drivers now, concerning the drivers, because some of them go for the cheap ones and some of them still go, but I don't know how would they now cope with the scenario of passengers coming to beg for transportation, saying they still have this, and then they are now looking at what they have, how they have refueled their cars and other things like that. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about that?
Okay, I think in this case we would like, maybe there's a scenario where a driver and a passenger will have to argue and then saying, please sir, can I just have 15 minutes. You know, that kind of thing is kind of complicated, and it's annoying to the drivers sometimes. They feel annoyed, and with the suffering of how they suffer to like get the fuel, and you know, all this thing is stress. They put in stress to like get it, so it's somehow complicated. But at least some drivers have the sense to explain to the passengers sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel I should, because buying of fuel is actually expensive, and we know. But then drivers should know that passengers put food on their tables. Though I know it's expensive, but then you should be considerate. They should be considerate when it comes to passengers. At times they want you to pay full, and then after paying full, they have this sense of humor that they deduct your change and tell you that they do not have. It causes problem a lot, you know. And then putting food on their table, they have to consider with we Nigerians. They have to.
Yes, let me say something, please. Like this morning when I was coming, I entered one keke and the guy dropped me. I gave him 100 naira to give me change. He was like telling me, madam, there is no change. Now how are we going to do? I stood there for like 30 minutes, so I just have to like, let me just go because I'm late. So you see, they are just looking for ways to get money in order to buy one or two things for their family members.
Okay, so these are all actually the scenarios, and these are actually the problems Nigerians are passing through when it comes to a standard of living. So I don't know, do you have anything to say to wrap this up?
I think I should add a little bit. Most people think Lagos and Abuja are actually less expensive, not knowing that those places are more expensive.
Okay, so thank you very much for having you here, and thank you viewers for listening. I just hope that when I will invite you, you will still have time to come over. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Bye. Thank you.
Good day, viewer. Welcome to Rock TV. My name is Owago Juliet Mesoma, and with me here are my lovely guests.
I am Evelyn Williams by name.
Judge Shalom Thompson.
I am Musa Jane.
I welcome you all today to our program. So today we're going to be talking about special reports on fuel scarcity. Can any of you just chip in and tell us what's the meaning of fuel scarcity?
Okay, fuel scarcity is a situation whereby there is shortage of premium motor spirit which is fuel for usage.
Okay, that's interesting. I loved your definition. You talk about the shortage. That has to do with the scarcity. That's it. So, can any of you tell us what's the effects on fuel scarcity?
Okay. We have it increases the cost of transportation, whereby, for example, I stay in Abattoir. Few months back, I do pay 15 naira as transport to the Polytechnic, but now it's now 100 naira.
Okay. Wow, that's serious.
So,
okay, that's one of her effects. That's one of the effects you have to say about it. She talked about the increase in transportation, and that is very correct. Movement now, if one wants to go to any place, you have to think, consider your transport. You decide how long will that journey take you to. You start to budget for your transport, because you can't just wake up one morning and start to move. You have to decide if you're going or if you're not going. So transportation is one of the effects on fuel scarcity.
And I think it also causes hold up.
You're right.
Because if you could barely see the way things are happening these days because of the fuel scarcity, we don't have free movement like that because of hold up and so on.
You're right. That's also an effect.
and it also causes food items. It also causes increase in food items and living.
Yeah, that's correct. That's absolutely correct, because I don't know if the fuel has developed. Okay, I should say maybe they'll be bringing goods from other states into the country. So fuel, they need it to bring in our resources for us to use. That's why they have to hide the demand. Like price now is something else. So I have another question here. What do you think is the cause, like the current cause for this scarcity of fuel now? What do you think is the current cause?
Okay, as for me, I think the current cause of fuel scarcity is because we don't have good functioning refineries around. So it causes a lot of problem. Okay, for instance now, the issue of fuel. You go to some filling station and you not find good fuel. You not find good fuel, and again it causes breakdown of some cars.
Like the fuel pump.
Yes, it causes breakdown. And I could barely remember, I think last upper week a friend of mine went to the filling station to get fuel, and when we were going to our destination, we're driving to our destination, the car started developing some issues, breaking down and the rest. So I think
that was one of the current.
It's one of.
I was talking about that breakdown. That's for having our fuel pump in our cars to be having issues. In some fuel station now, if you go, you might realize that they might have fuel. They might have fuel, but they won't be able to sell it out, because I guess they want to sell it out to the black market.
Yes, because actually the black marketers are the one giving them more money. They gain a lot from them. Yes, more than those. That's the car owners. And So for instance, if they are to sell per liter 200, they will sell it to the black marketers for 220. For instance, so for 220, and they are really gaining a lot from it. I think that's one of the causes again of we suffering from the fuel issues.
And you just decide, you notice that it will generate long queue, and it's going to cause hold up. Before you go to your destination, you will sit in your car, and I noticed even in the fuel station, you see that some of the customers that came to get their fuel, you might say they might develop some issues. Some of them will now start using words against each other, which is not right. So if the conflict, you're right. If the government can do something, let them enable things to be right. Those kind of things will not be happening. You see, your neighbor that you're supposed to just greet and pass, get your fuel and go, but you guys now start having little issues. Some might hit your car at the back, and that is not right. So that was one of the causes, the major one that has been happening recently that I have encounter?
Lack of good roads contribute also.
Okay.
Because the truck drivers are being killed on their way. Like the thieves. The thieves will also like to rob them so that they can have access to the petrol, to the fuel, and
you're right. And you might even see some cars will even sleep at the fuel station just for them to get it. So that in the morning when they open, they'll be the ones to get it first.
Some do spend about 2 days.
You're right.
2 days, 3 days struggling to get fuel
before they will get it.
Which is very bad.
Okay. All right. I have another question here. What do you think is the solution for the fuel scarcity? Do you think there's anything that should be putting in consideration about the fuel scarcity?
Okay, I think marketers should always open their fueling station.
Okay.
Because there are some marketers that will lock up their stations and then wait for a hike in pump price before they start selling, so that they can make huge profits, which is very wrong. And then Nigeria should refine their oil, and then petroleum sectors should be privatized.
You're right. I absolutely agree with that. So do any of you want to chip in into any of our solutions? What do you think we should consider?
I think the government should also do something about the refineries.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's nice. So we've come to the end of today's topic. I am so happy to have my lovely girls with me, and I so enjoy this topic. I still remain your host, Juliet Ubagu Maisoma. Thank you.
Good day, viewers. Still on Rock TV Plateau State Polytechnic Jos campus, you are welcome to the program. The program promised to be very interesting. Today we will be discussing on the issues of kidnapping and insurgency. My name is Fuki Joshua, and I have some lovely and beautiful friends here in the studio, and I would like them to introduce themselves.
My name is Miss Alexandra Bayaro.
My name is Tina John.
And my name is Henrietta Simon.
I'm Mary John Bantu.
Thank you very much, my guest. As I said earlier, our topic for today is kidnapping and insurgency. As we all know, kidnapping has been a trending issue concerning in the country that we have been seeing several times, and some people have been killed because of all this kidnapping. And please, I will also ask my guest a question. The questions goes like this. And please, Alexander, I have some few questions to ask you, and I would like to ask you this question. Alexander Bayo, can you please tell me what you understand or what you know about kidnapping?
Well, thank you for having me. Kidnapping, this is the act of seizing someone or forcing, adopting someone illegally, which is not for the person, for the person's right. And again, kidnapping, this is also what we Nigerians face in our country. Some people kidnap citizens just to have collecting money for ransom, and this causes many things in our country.
Thank you very much, Alexandra Bayo, for this wonderful answer. And Tina John, can you please tell us what causes kidnapping in Plateau State or Nigeria in the society also?
Okay, what causes kidnapping in Nigeria is insecurity, lack of job, poverty, and also injustice.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. Mary John, can you please tell us how often does it affect people in the society?
All right, thank you for the time. Actually, kidnapping is affected people. It's affecting people in so many different categories ways. Like one, let me say, people are just been killing, and people are losing their life. Innocent life have just been killing in the country and the society at large, and properties have just been destroyed for nothing just because of kidnapping. And if you take to look at the situation we are now, people are scared of traveling even from one state to another, talk more of going far. So the issue is just everywhere, like it's very serious, and people's properties are just being denied and nothing is being done. So it's really affecting the community, our society, and even the whole world at large.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you, and God bless. Harriet Simon, can you please tell us the solution? What do you think are the solution of kidnapping?
Well, okay. Thanks for this moment and opportunity for me to speak. There are a lot of ways we can prevent kidnapping in the society. I know it's actually not a day job for us to stop it, but we ourselves can help stop the rate of kidnapping. We can stop it by being vigilant and make our safety our own priority. We should know the kind of environment we involve ourselves into. Before going out, we should know the location and what's happening in that place before we go. And you should know the kind of security is in that environment. It's not everybody anywhere you just go and batch in because you feel like, yes, I want to go to this place. And we can set boundaries to where we will go. It's not everywhere you go. You should know the kind of place you want to go, what you want to do, and the kind of security is in that environment. And also, government, this is to the government, they can help us decrease the rates of kidnapping in the society by job creation. They can help us create jobs for people out there. Job creation is actually one of the reasons why kidnapping is getting much, because there's no money in the country. But everybody felt like, yes, they can go into kidnapping because they will get money at last. But if government can help us create jobs for those who don't have, and we're making security our personnel, as in every location we will go, we just know that security should be the best thing. Government can help by giving us a lot of security to rural environments. A lot of rural environments got involved in this because there is no security there, and government can help us by creating effective borders for us, and they can also help us by training a strong anti-kidnap agent. It can also help decrease the rate of kidnapping. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Harriet Simon. As we all know, kidnapping has been a training issue concerning in this country, also in Plateau State, that we have seen several times, and some people have been killed all because of this process of this kidnapping. So, Alexander, I don't know whether you have something to add on this, or any of you have anything to add on this. I don't know.
Okay, I want to talk about insurgency.
Okay.
Insurgency, this is the act of being rebellious that did not reach the proportion of an organized revolution. This also appeal to any sort of armed uprising, typically in character, against the recognized government of the state or country.
Yes.
So this has to do with, sometimes what causes insurgency here is some of the citizens of this country are the one causing insurgency. So I don't know whether Henrietta can help us out with some.
Well, what I actually want to say is about the kidnapping. Kidnapping has caused a lot of damage to us here in the society because it has decreased the number of our youth. Some of us some other people out there who got involved into kidnap, some people were not able to come out alive. I know some people will be able to come out, but how about our families? Maybe the money they have kept to feed us, the money they have kept to put us into schools, but they end up using it to pay for us who are being kidnapped. Like, seriously, kidnap have caused a lot of damage to us.
Thank you very much.
And to add one thing on what Tina said, and I think one of the major problems that is causing this is insecurity in the country. Because if you take to look at, like, this country will lack security to the extent that you see people will just bound into a place and just do whatever they want, and nobody even cares to say a word. So they have been given the authority to do everything they think they want to do, so which is very bad. So I'm calling on the government we should please do something about this insecurity to help people in the society and the community.
Thank you very much, my guests. I really appreciate. We really enjoyed this program. Thank you very much. And my own advice is that I'm advising everybody, if you know you don't have a job, I'm advising you to please look for job, so that to avoid all this kidnapping, stealing, robbery, all this that you know it will affect your life. You should please look for job. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this program, and I would like to shout out to all my viewers to love you, see you next time, and don't forget I'm still your favorite host, Joshua Passion. Thank you and goodbye.
Hello viewer, you are welcome to Rock TV. I'm by name Patrick Panchak, and in the studio with me I'm having some guests in the studio. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm by name Joseph Longs.
I'm by name Marine Faith Luca.
And I'm by name Anigo Chidimba Doris.
And on our today's edition we'll be talking about a topic, drug abuse. We'll be seeing some key things about drug abuse, the importance, the disadvantage of drug abuse, the definition of drug abuse, the signs and symptoms of drug abuse, and some solutions to the drug abuse. Longs, can you tell us what is drug abuse?
Okay. Drugs abuse is any illegal use of or improper use of drugs without the prescription of the doctor or the medical doctor, in the sense that you use drugs without the prescription of the doctor.
Wow, wonderful having you in the studio, Longs. Mrs. Faith, can you tell us some effects of drug abuse?
Oh, thank you for that wonderful question. The effects of drug abuse is it affects the brain, it changes the appetite, and lack of coordination.
Wow, quite interesting having you around, Faith. Next we having Chidima. Chidima, can you tell us some signs and symptoms of the addict of drug abuse?
All right, thank you. Like Longs earlier said, drug abuse is the wrong intake of drugs without the prescription of a doctor. And we have some signs and symptoms of drug addiction. 1, we have change in personality and behavior. 2, we have lack of concern for personal hygiene. And 3, we have shake or slurred speech, in the sense that someone who is addicted to drugs, when he doesn't get the drug immediately to take, he has some behavior that he or the person, he or she, normally reacts to. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Chidima. It's wonderful having you guys around in the studio. And going back to our topic, drug abuse, as we heard earlier by Longs, he made mention of the definition of drug abuse. He said the definition of drug abuse is the illegal taking of drugs without the prescription of a medical doctor. And actually, yeah, we know that without the prescription of a medical doctor, if you take drugs without the prescription, is called drug abuse, and it's illegally take. It causes harm to our personal hygiene and our brain. And coming back to the effects of drug abuse, as my colleague here in the studio, Faith, has made mention earlier, that it affects the brain. Actually, it affects the brain because when you take the drugs, you behave abnormality. You begin to behave in a way that you don't behave normally, and those are some of the effects of drugs abuse. Coming back to Chidima, as she clearly explained to us the signs and the symptoms of drug abuse. Actually, signs and symptoms of drug abuse addiction are changes in physical behavior and changes in our daily activities, you no more have strength in your daily activities. When you're going to work, maybe you're no more strong and healthy for your work. Those are some of the causes of drug abuse. Coming back to you, Chidima, can you tell us some solution to prevent this drug abuse?
All right, thank you. Seek help for mental illness, because drug addiction go hand in hand with mental illness. Then keep a well-balanced life. Thirdly, deal with life pressure. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you for having you guys all in the studio. It's a pleasure having you guys around. Hope to see you to join our program next. And our advice to all the drug abusers is to stay away from drugs to prevent ourselves from attacking our mental health. Thank you for having you guys. Hope to join us next.
Thank you.
Good morning, viewer. Welcome to Foundation Rock TV here in Plateau State Polytechnic Jos campus. On today's program, we'll be talking about the Nigerian economy, and I have some guests with me here in the studio that will help us educate and enlighten us on how to build our economy. With me here in the studio is the Minister of Finance, the former Minister of Finance, the Minister of Agriculture, and the Minister of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC. It's good to have you in the show.
Thank you so much.
So, in Nigeria, our economy is really suffering. Like, we suffer a lot in our economy. There are lack of electricity, bad roads, and other stuff that is really affecting us. So we want you to educate us on how to improve in our economy. So I have some few questions that I will ask you to, you answer us and tell us your opinion on what you think will help us in our economy. So this question goes to the Minister of Finance. Ma, please, what is your opinion about the state of Nigeria?
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. My name is Inusa Sadiatal, the present Minister of Finance. Truth is to be told, Nigeria, an average Nigeria should have at least a good apartment, and good 3 daily meals. So this present times we doesn't have all that. So a Nigerian man or a Nigerian lady, you'll be seen struggling outside. So as a Minister of Finance, I can't say that much, or I can't say that much, because you see, as a Minister of Finance, I can't do it alone. So I need to put some ladies, as you all see us, we are the minister. So if we work in good hands to help improve the Nigerian budgeting, so that 80% of Nigerians citizens should have a better, comfortable life, 30%, so that with agriculture, exporting business program, we can make it, we can build Nigerian economy, we can raise it up. So with all that money, we can we can move, it's something we are dealing with money. So if we want to make our country a better country, so that's what I have to say for now. I don't know my colleagues.
Okay, well, thank you very much, ma, for the opinion. Like you said, exporting goods outside, it will really help our economy to improve, to grow into a better place. Thank you very much for your opinion. I'll move to my next question, and this question goes to the Minister of Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Ma, how can you help with the Nigerian economy?
Okay, as the Minister of Nigerian Promotion Council,
I can help my country by registering for export marketing and information, such as bringing other potential people from other countries to help out for exporting our goods. Then by providing for them trading and ministry. Thank you very much.
You know, she skipped my brain with one thing that she said. You know, when we export goods, it will bring money for us. Like
of course,
agriculture. If they help boost the agricultural people with money for their farms, so you know, when we export like rice, we get good things to be produced in this country. So we are just, if we are given a chance, me as a ministers, so we can do all that.
Okay, so thank you, ma, for your opinion, and we'll look forward to that. As our economy will grow, what the things that will help us, like you said, exporting or bringing potential people from foreign countries to come and help us. Well, I think it will do us good. It will do us good. It will improve us. That was very good. Thank you very much, ma, for your opinion. And so I'll move to my next questions. Pardon me. And this question goes to the Minister of Agriculture. Ma, please, how can Nigeria improve in its agriculture economy?
Thank you very much for that question.
Yes, sir.
As the Minister of Agriculture, the Nigerian government has to provide. The Nigerian government can promote rice from to our neighboring countries, and it can help in economic growth.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, it can help in when it can even help when the government give loans to the farmers. Right, it can help also in that way, so that they can buy materials for their farming tools. Their cars they need, the machines they need in doing the farm works. Okay, thank you very much for your opinion. I think it's also an improvement to us. Okay, so I'm moving to my next question, and this is to our former Minister of Finance. Ma, you have been in this position for a long time. What advice can you give us as a leader?
Thank you very much for having me here. It's actually a privilege. As my name implies, to be honest, Nigerians don't believe in economic figure, and that's simply because there's lack of jobs. And I'm certain that Nigeria is capable. It has that strength to make provisions for employment. And by doing that, you know, it will help our Nigerians not to be dependent. It will boosting the economic growth. Talking about that, educating them on how to become entrepreneurs. You know, you don't have to depend on the government for everything alone. It will also lessen budgets for us.
And sure, that's right.
It will help lessen the budget. So I think by educating them on how to become entrepreneurs, it will go a long way. Not that alone, providing educational organization. You know, when you enlighten the people, education is a key. Like it's a key. When someone knows the way forward, it will lessen everything, and the growth of the economy will not be where we are now. So I feel we should look into that. With that alone, we're going to go a long way in this country.
Okay, thank you very much, Mira, for your opinion.
Welcome.
And it is our desire that our country will be a better place for us to live. Our country will be suitable for us. Our country will be the best among all. Thank you very much, Ma, for having. Thank you for your opinions. I really appreciate. Thank you, viewer. This is the show, and I hope we all learned something today. I hope that with this, it will educate us and help us achieve our aim in this country. It will help in growth of our economy. So we'll see you next time. Same tune, same channel at Foundation Rock TV. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewer. Welcome to Foundation Rock TV. My name is Ibukun Olawi, and here with me my wonderful and amazing speaker, amazing guest. Let me start the introduction. Can I start from the right or from the left? Okay, ladies first.
Okay, my name is Ipora John Dachulu.
My name is Moses Sunday.
Thank you.
My name is Marcus Elijah Anthony.
My name is Daniel Emmanuel.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Today we'll be discussing about child trafficking. We'll be hearing child trafficking around the world, around the environment, and even in our community. Mr. Daniel, can you please tell us about child trafficking and the causes of child trafficking in Nigeria?
Okay, wow. I would say I'll first start with child trafficking started in the 19s, since the 90s, from the Middle East, where children were being transported from the Middle East to Europe for purpose of prostitution, hawking, etc. But during those process, the government found a way to stop child trafficking, but due to the lack of ignorance in the community, in the various rural communities, the people are unable to still cope with this, and the literate are the ones that are being influencing the illiterate. I think I'll go into the causes now. One of the causes of child trafficking, one of the main causes of child trafficking is broken homes. Okay, for example, taking a situation where a woman has to cope with like 5 to 3 children. They have to cope with 5 to 3 children and have nothing, like no money, nothing to be able to help her to take good care of the children. She has to succumb to those pressure being put by the literate, the traffickers. She has to succumb to those pressures and give out her children for trafficking so as to get income to be able to take care of the children. Meanwhile, that to her, she thinks she's doing the right thing, but instead she's not. And the second cause again of child trafficking, I would say, is poverty. Just like I said earlier, lack of money in a family really messes with the family, breaks the family apart, and they have no any other option but to give out their children for all these traffickers to traffic. And another causes, I would say again, is illiteracy. Illiteracy. Let's go back to the rural angle now. Those rural areas lack educational background, and in such they lack the ability to know their human rights, what they are to do and what they are not to do. In a situation whereby a literate person comes into those rural environments, meets 1 or 2 people, starts telling them the importance, that's to them, they will think it's important. They will start telling them the importance of them giving their children to them for trafficking, but them not knowing that it's not a good thing. They will give out the children just because they are not aware of the impact or the social instability that it will bring to the community and also to the nation. I think that was where I'll stop for now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. Mr. Sunday, can you please tell us about the effects and the consequences of child trafficking in Nigeria?
Okay. First of all, I see child trafficking as an egregious human rights violation with profound negative physical and psychological effects. such as physical injuries, unwanted pregnancies, and communicable diseases such as HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis, etc., etc. I think that's all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. Ms. Sipora, can you please add to what Mr. Sunday about the effects and the consequences of child trafficking in Nigeria? Can you please enlighten us more on that?
Okay, thank you very much. Children who are being trafficked face a lot of physical challenges. Children especially are being used for hawking in the streets and used as house helpers, and are being exposed to, most of them are being exposed to psychological and trauma, and they are being exposed to fear.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sipora, for your own point of view. Mr. Elijah, can you please tell us about the solution and how to put a stop to child trafficking in Nigeria?
Thank you, Ms. Ibuku, for giving me the opportunity. Before I go further, I would like to define what's child trafficking. Let me say, what's a child? A child is someone. Let me say, someone who is below the age of 18, who is under his parents. So, what is trafficking? Trafficking is carrying children from one place to another. When you come to child trafficking can be defined as the carrying of human being from one place to another for the purposes of money. Let me say, what bring about child trafficking. One is what will bring about the end of child trafficking. One of the major reasons will be creating of awareness. If we can create awareness through the social media, radios, television, magazines, etc., I think people will have more knowledge about this child trafficking so that it will stop. Secondly, I would say establishment of rehabilitation centers and building of orphanage homes. If we have people that can enlighten people more about what child trafficking is, I think we might bring the end. And issues of these orphanage homes, if we can have organizations, the government building of orphanage homes in so many areas and places, I think we might bring the end of this child trafficking. Lastly, I will say by creating laws by the lawmakers. In this country, Nigeria especially, if the government can put law in order for people to obey. Let me say, for example, now, yes, it will be like if you are being indulged in that aspect of child trafficking, you will be sent to prison for like 20 to 30 years. So if people know the repercussions of all this child trafficking, I think it might come to the end. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Elijah. This is so amazing. Do any of my guests, do you have any suggestion to add in or any?
Yeah, I would like to firstly say that the issue of child trafficking in Nigeria, to be precise, is a very intruding matter, and is a matter that has to be seriously taken into consideration. And just like Elijah said here, one of the solution is that they should provide a means of informing the people. That means the people should be informed through social media handles.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. We have come to the end of today's program. And shout out to my viewers out there, and most especially to my amazing and wonderful guests. I really appreciate your presence, Ms. Sipora, Mr. Elijah, Mr. Sunday, and Mr. Daniel. I really appreciate your presence here. I remain your humble host, Ibukun Olawiyi.
Say no to trafficking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, viewer. This is Foundation Rock TV, Plateau State Polytechnic. My name is Magdalene Esegame Bosse. I am here with my host today on your favorite program, Disease Free, a program that gives you valid updates in health sector in our society.
Here with us in the studio is our honorable guest, the Commissioner for Health, Plateau State Chapter, Mr. Okiki.
Good day, viewer. My name is Akinola Okiki, the Commissioner for Health, Plateau State Chapter. Thank you.
On this show today, we will be discussing the case of Ebola virus disease. Stay tuned with us while we enjoy the program. Mr. Chairman, can you explain to us what is Ebola virus disease?
Okay. Ebola virus disease, formerly known as Ebola hemorrhagic fever, is a severe, often fatal illness affecting human and other primates. Ebola virus was first discovered in 1976 near Ebola River in what is now referred to as Democratic of Congo. Since then, the virus has been infecting people from time to time, leading to outbreak in several African countries. The largest Ebola epidemic ever in 2014 and 2015 cost life of more than 11,000 people.
Did the Ebola virus affect every part of the world like that of coronavirus?
No. The outbreak affected only 10 countries, which are Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Senegal, Mali, Nigeria, Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, and United States of America. That's 3 continents, which are the Africa, Europe, and North America. It kills over 11,300 people and infected 28,000 people.
Can you tell us about the first recorded case of Ebola virus in Nigeria?
Yeah. The Ebola virus was first imported into Nigeria by a Liberian diplomat who arrived via Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos on July 20, 2014. The diplomat had cared for a sibling with Ebola virus disease in Liberia, who eventually died from the disease on 8 July 2014. So he was identified as being unwell at the airport and admitted in a private hospital in Lagos, where he was diagnosed of Ebola virus, and that was on the 3rd day.
Okay. How did Nigeria respond to Ebola virus disease outbreak?
Well, Nigerians, okay, millions of Nigerians then, they were thrown into panic. That was July 23, 2014. That's when the first case was announced in Lagos. On that same day, the Federal Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, that's NCDC, declared an Ebola emergency in Nigeria with an estimated population of over 182 million of Nigerians as at 2014.
Okay. What later happened to the index cases added in Nigeria?
Sorry, I can't get your question.
What later happened to the index case recorded in Nigeria?
Okay, the index case, the patient he eventually died on July 25th, 2014. From this index case, the disease quickly spread. It spread to involve over 19 laboratories confirmed Ebola virus case and 1 probably case in 2 states.
How did the World Health Organization (WHO) respond to the Ebola virus disease outbreak?
Okay, the World Health Organization, they went on to declare Ebola virus disease a public health emergency of international concern. That's a body that is referred to as PHEIC. This situation bears some similarity to very recent disease, a very recent virus, that is Zika virus outbreak, which has been declared as a public health emergency of international concern also. So with the hope of this declaration, will facilitate the mobilization of resources and promote a coordinated response to the growing threat.
Apart from the index case, no Nigerian record more deaths case from.
Please, can you take the question again, please?
Apart from the index case,
okay,
do Nigerian record more death case from
Ebola virus?
Ebola virus.
Okay. Yeah. Apart from the index case, there were other death cases. Like there is 8 of the confirmed cases of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria eventually died. Case fatality rate of 42.1 percentage, and 12 were nursed back to good health.
Okay. Do Nigerians still have any active Ebola virus case as today?
No, as at today, as at present day, there's no any active case. On October 2014, Nigeria was declared free of Ebola virus disease by the World Health Organization. The Nigerian Ebola virus disease experience provide valuable insights to guide reform of African health system in preparation for future disease outbreak, like the case of coronavirus that we are having presently.
Thank you for being with us on this show, Disease Free, and hope we will all be well fed with updates about Ebola virus disease outbreak in Nigeria. Thank you for showing.
Good afternoon, listeners. You're on Foundation Rock TV, Plateau State Polytechnic Jos Campus. My name is Gali Jospin Tokpe, and with me here today I have a very special guest in the person of Miss Cynthia Chuang, who is the Commissioner of Water Resource, Plateau State. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So today on this program we'll be discussing on water scarcity in Jos Metropolis. In the time of we are actually facing different problems now. We are from oil scarcity to high inflation rates. Actually, one of the problems the Plateau residents are facing now is water scarcity. Is actually a challenging one for them, and you find out that you go to different communities, you see the aged people and children going out with buckets and all sorts of things to get water, and there are some communities in which they are actually facing this challenge. Like we have the Rikos community, the Gengere, Rukuba Road, Gadabiu, Genta. So ma, today please, what can you say about water scarcity?
Now, water scarcity can mean scarcity in availability due to physical shortage, scarcity in access due to the failure of institution to ensure a regular supply, or due to a lack of adequate infrastructure. Now, we are suffering to get water. When she was mentioning places, my village is also one of those places that doesn't have water. So all we just need now is to look after ourselves well, because water do get dirty anyhow, it get polluted.
Okay, there's this particular place in Rikos which they call it Sudung also. It used to be a very portable source for water, and now when you go there you find out that the taps and the wells have dried up.
Yes.
And also the construction of the British America bridge, which is actually close to the Plateau State Water Board, has also contributed to scarcity of water. So how will you say that that's affected the living condition of the people?
Okay, now we have Muslims who are observing their fast throughout the month of April, and in a trying time they are also suffering from getting water to take, and it will also cause them a problem, because when they are going out to get water now, they can begin to see food from different people and they would like to eat. Most especially the kids, they are the ones suffering this, because water is not close to them. They will have to go out, and now Christians will be robbed of the full flavor of Easter celebration in this critical time because of water, as everyone knows is essential for life.
Okay. Can I actually ask you one question? Do you think the water vendors are actually contributing to this problem? Because most of them actually go to get water at the borehole at the rate of 15 naira, and when we go to buy, they will sell it at the rate of 300, 500. So what do you think about that?
This condition of water now is just turning to something else, because the pure water we do buy before is 5 naira, but now is 20 naira per one. Some will just have to pity you to give you 3 for 15 naira. So all we just have to do is to minimize the rate of using water so that we won't waste it anyhow.
Okay, so what do you think are the major causes of water scarcity?
Now we have one main cause before others. We have the climate change, and such as the drought and floods. It increases human consumption, because the more drought take place and the floods, it takes the water away. Most of that is some people do dig a well for boreholes and taps, which are yes, and it do take the water off from the well, and people will continue suffering with the scarcity of water. So we have poor water management, which is we don't manage our water well, and we do keep it open anyhow. Yes, it don't help us at all. Most especially our kids, they do take water anywhere they see, which is water pollution. And we still have the food insecurity. Our food is always open. We don't close our food. We just, and wherever our kids see the food, they will just start eating without knowing how the food was, unless the elderly one is close to them. That's all.
Okay, thank you for that. So do you think there are any solutions to tackle this water scarcity?
All we should do is to create more water facilities like boreholes and taps, most especially to those that are in the villages, because those that are in the cities, they have taps and borehole, and it's it's not all, but most areas they do have the taps and borehole, and it's making everything easy for them. But those in the villages, trust me, they are really suffering. There's no water, and their wells, you just see the water is just like pap. All we just need is just a good water.
Yeah, I think that solution should be as residents. So do you have any solution you think the government can actually do?
There's nothing much to say. All we just need is tap. We just need tap.
I feel they should actually do more, because we are under them.
Yes,
they are ruling us, and I think our welfare should be a priority to them too.
Yes. So all we just need from the government, they should help us out with tap and bowls. Now, the only thing that is going to help us now is this rain that is coming. That's the sweetest part of this season right now, because we have water anyhow, but it's just that the water we will drink is the problem now, because the rainwater too is not that okay. We just need a clean water that we can take and make us healthier, because the more we take this dirty water, all we get is typhoid. Even the food itself is typhoid. So we just need something that can help us.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cynthia Chuang. I don't think I have more to say, because I guess you've said all. So we've come to the end of this program. Thank you for coming.
Welcome.
And I hope and believe that government will actually do something to tackle the water scarcity in Plateau State.
Yes, we hope so.